Hi guys, this episode is sponsored by Next Block Expo, the blockchain festival of Europe, happening on the 19th and 20th of March in Warsaw. I am super excited to have them as a sponsor and I will be there personally during the conference. I would love to see you all there. And right now, happy listening. Hi everyone, welcome to Just Asking, where I'm asking 5 questions to interesting women in Web3. Today, my guest is Anna Jacobson. She is a female enigma. She has multiple passports. She's an awesome Web3 marketer, and she works for this company called Tangem. They have recently released a really cool RWA. It's a ring. It's a something like Aura Ring for your crypto, and something that you will soon want to give your girlfriends as an engagement. Welcome, Anna. Thank you so much for joining me here.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for that intro. Afterwards, I don't think I'll be able to follow anything because this high standard now. Enigma, multiple everything. Okay, I guess I'll have to not disappoint.
Oh no, this is who you really are. This is how I met you. I met Anna in London and she was like so fabulous. We had so much fun. So I was so happy to have her here with me today. So, okay, I'm gonna get right into it. The first question is, what is Web3 to you?
Starting with the good questions and very intense all at once. I think that is just the metaphor for Web3 is it's a bit of everything all at the same time. It's very messy, it's a little bit disjointed at the moment, but it is the future of the internet. So Web3, I would say, is more of a mix of everything. It's more of an umbrella term. I mean, we've all heard of it, like this read, write, own mento, that we kind of understand that it's the future of Web3, but it more is a claim to being decentralized in everything in its manner. So regardless of which demographics you're in, wherever you are, whoever you are, it's all open to you. There's an interconnected way to kind of connect with everybody all at the same time. So I think that it's the ethos first, but then it's also just about the technology. So my personal grip with the industry, it always was, and I don't think that'll change, is that people get it really confused for it is just crypto or it is just a way to speculate on assets and I'm going to get rich quick. So Web3 has become this big term to mean something of an unclear nature, and it's very speculative. So I think we're moving towards changing that now, and I think what the most important thing is, it's a change in the way that we approach monopolies. There is no monopoly now. We try to have this decentralized nature, and now we have to just spread it out to as many people as possible.
Awesome. I love that. This is like a completely different direction to all my other guests' responses. And yeah, and this is why I love asking this question because, everybody has a little bit of a different take on this. Some people say this term doesn't make sense at all. So I love starting with this question and then getting a different take from each guest. And the next question is, how would you explain this to your mom or a child? So let's make it really simple and try to get all those people who are watching who have no idea to understand what Web3 is.
Oof. Okay, let's start with this. So I'm quite lucky. I actually have Web3 friendly parents, so to speak. It's
Hey.
very future forward. I have my nearly 80-year-old dad who mines proof of works networks. He
Whoa,
mines
that's
Bitcoin as
awesome.
well. Yeah, he just lives in a remote village and was like, you know what? I want to leave my kids with something in the future. And since I'm retired, I'm going to start mining crypto, which is just mental to say out loud. And my mom's
I'm
also one of those people.
awesome.
Yeah, she was like, we should convert all of our savings into crypto. I'm like, Mom, stop. So I'm quite lucky with that way. But how I would explain it to newbies completely in the space is I'm very metaphorical. And the way that I kind of explain it is the metaphor is it's a new postal system. So I try to explain it as blockchain ledgers are the way to transport information. So instead of waiting for, let's say that you want to send a parcel, something, I don't know. It doesn't matter what's in it. That's kind of the point. You can send it without the postal office checking what's in it, how heavy it is, what's inside the package, instead of them also having to transport it from, let's say, Amsterdam to New Zealand, which is another country where I'm from. They would have to go through the Amsterdam office, most likely through somewhere in Asia office, and all of those ledgers have to be registered and all that information passed down. It takes time and it takes energy and is highly inefficient. Nothing against the postal system, but it's a new way of doing post. But instead of having a parcel with something physical, you can have it with data. And that data can be anything. It can be a photo, it can be a string of numbers, it can represent money and so on. So what I really like about that analogy is that it just means that it's a new way of sending information, which is all that it is. And like I mentioned before, that people kind of get it confused with crypto equals speculation and so on. This is subtracted from the idea of crypto being an asset and that being Web3 and blockchain and so on. It's just a use case for it. So I try to differentiate in every way that I explain it that it's not crypto, it's blockchain, and it's a way of transporting information rather than anything else. So I do want to get rid of that idea that it's a make quick money scheme or something. It's the future of transporting information, but with nobody asking in between, and it's in seconds.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I love that you explain it that way because I feel like we're lacking this wording. We're lacking the specific terms, and you're right. Like people hear crypto, people hear blockchain, and they think it's a scheme, it's a scam, it's it's get rich quick. It's all about tokens. It's all about fake internet money. When in real life, it's so much more than that. And I think when people start understanding the potential it has and how we can apply it to different businesses and how actually we can use it in the real world, we will then move forward and really start going towards this mass adoption, which some of the people in the crypto space that I've spoken to were just a little bit discouraged, and they were like, it's been taking so long, it's like 12, 13 years, and we're talking mass adoption. And I'm like, yeah, that
It's
is
just around
true,
the
but
corner. It's just nearly here. It's just one more little push, and then it'll be here. And it's
yeah,
a frustrating narrative for us to keep on playing over and over. But anybody who does with anything to do with audience communication, it's our job to kind of explain that better and better.
exactly. And I think that is also something that comes within these conversations, that the more you speak about something, the more different narratives you have, and then the more people you reach. So, it's also like when you're building a relationship, right? Like you can't just sit down and be like, okay, now we're going to build this relationship from scratch, like in 5 minutes. No, you need time and you need space and you need like different narratives, different ways of communicating, right?
Yeah, it
So
takes time. It's an investment of yourself. That's the best way to explain it. I like that analogy. I might have to steal it now.
okay, sure, it's yours.
Okay. Postal system,
Okay.
relationships. Okay, got it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, amazing. So let's move on to the next question, which is, well, what dApps, so decentralized apps, are you actually using?
Ooh, see, I'm a very conservative person now. I've been in the space since 2018 and I've been burned and I've played around way too much too soon. It also started with the fact that I used to work for a launchpad when I was a little bit younger to the space, and I was very excited about this is coming up, this is popping off. So I would just ape into any project that I saw in a way. It did get me quite early into Solana, which is very good. But on the other hand, I also crashed and burned too many times. So I'm very conservative now. With
Okay.
that, I definitely don't participate in a lot of DGen activities. I'm more of just a DeFi girl. I'm more of like a hodler. I'm very much into sort of old school approach to your own data, which is that you want to own it and decentralize it and be your own self-custodian. So when I started working for Tangent, where I am right now, it was a full-hearted I want to work here because I was already using similar products and I was desperate to find a better solution that was cleaner, more efficient, and so on. So instead of just using hot wallets all the time, I now can rely on, cold wallets, and that's generally what I use every single day in my activities. I can talk about how wherever I connect and so on, but I don't think that's really interesting. What's interesting is like, what do I need to teach people? And my ethos is if you don't own your crypto assets or any kind of digital assets, then you don't really own it. So I'm full-heartedly recommending to people to go into hardware wallets. I'm a little bit impartial. And I like the company who I'm working for, and they've been on the market since 2018, so it's great. I'll show it to you right now. It's that wonderful little crypto ring. And that's it.
It's
So I
so
have two
cool.
things on me at all times, which is my Aura ring for fitness and my other big love, which is my Tangent ring, which is a crypto ring. So how it would work is essentially you would just tap it to the back of your phone to confirm the transaction, and that would be it. So because I can also connect via Wallet Connect to anything I want, it's the easiest way for me to stay on chain, but also protected at all times. So, oh, I can rave on forever. Please stop me.
I'm not stopping you because I love it. I love the idea. I love the rings. Um, I think I still have space for it here, so maybe this will be a Christmas gift or something.
It's actually quite well priced as well, which is surprising. And you can like put it under water and fire and so on. So very well protected, and it doesn't scratch. And I do deadlifts, so it doesn't scratch, which is a good thing.
Okay, girl. Okay, I'm sold. I'm sold. And okay, let's get a little bit more personal about you.
Sure.
Tell us your story. How did you get into this space and why did you stay?
Ooh, okay. So I fell into it accidentally. Like I mentioned before, it was 2018. I was very bushy-tailed and ready to go into the big wide world. I'm a little bit older than I look, but what I'm trying to say is I've had a whole different life before. I was a filmmaker. I was living in London. I was living this production lifestyle. Was very much just I was keen on being on the front of the future always. So when I entered film school, I wrote in my essays that I wanted to be a propaganda person. I wanted to be part of like swaying public opinion. So that's why I entered the industry. I loved it, but it wasn't hitting that futurism ideals that I really wanted. I've always been a futurist, a looking forward to the advances of the future, and I've always been a technologist. I have all the gadgets, obviously. So I wanted to work in fintech specifically, and I came to a recruiter. I said, "Help! I have these skills. I don't know what to do." And she very luckily put me into the fintech crypto space. I started working for an organization working with policy making in the UK to make sure that crypto businesses are represented correctly, and that was back in 2018. So I never left, and then I continued on to work with DeFi protocols, launch pads, investment platforms. There's a little bit of GameFi in there, so it was a bit of everything. Very intense start to the industry, and then I did a master's, and I wanted to grow my skills as a storyteller more. So I've been in Web3 since 2018 full time as a growth marketer, and here's the rock and roll that I was always searching for, and I found it definitely because it's a growing industry, which really
Mhm.
attracted me to the space. Of course, I'm growing my skills personally as a marketer. And third, which is the most important thing for me, is people actually live this. So I don't know. There's more boring jobs in the world, right? And
Yeah,
people try
absolutely.
not to mix, your hobbies with your job, but people actually in the space do. They mix it all the time. They actually live it. They actually believe these things. Because otherwise, the crypto space quickly throws you out if you're not actually part of it. People can kind of tell that you're not in it for the right reasons, that you're just here for the money. So I like that people
Yeah.
don't clock out at 5 p.m. People actually live this lifestyle. So I don't think I'll be leaving, which I generally like.
This is awesome. And I fully agree with you. And this is also what attracted me to this space, the people. Because the people are so authentic and they're in it for something. Like they actually have purpose. They want to change the world in a way.
Oh yeah.
And and it's like a whole industry, and each project, each company is doing something a little bit different, but everybody is working towards the same goal. And and people are resilient because for 10 or 13 years, like you've been struggling, we've been struggling. Well, I haven't because I'm a newbie, kind of, but
Welcome.
I've been thank you. I've been watching this space for a long time, and I've been like lurking in and thinking about it and reading and learning and stuff like this. So I really came into it also for the right purpose, to become part of it and to become part of the change. And I've been welcomed so nicely. I haven't been welcomed to any industry like that before.
Oh yeah.
um,
I think the main thing, you just touched upon it. People actually don't care what your credentials are. Other industries do. They're like, did you do this? Did you work at this really cool place that looks really good on your CV? Do you have all these degrees to prove it? But the Web3 space is generally just, what can you do? Are you passionate about this? And that will accompany you throughout your career. It's not credential based, it's definitely passion based. So it's a very unique industry, and I'm glad that we've welcomed you. Um, yeah, just let's not
Thank you.
gatekeep. Let's bring more people in.
Exactly. This is what I love about it too. That I mean, it's a complex topic, and if you want to get into it, like you also have to be resilient, and you also have to want to learn. And I feel like what's really awesome about it is that people coming in, they have to show a certain level of maturity and a certain
Hmm.
level of commitment, because it's not something you can grasp within one day or one week. Like I used to work in biotech before, and that was super complex. And I love challenges, which is why I was like, okay, I want to get into this. I want to like get down to the bottom of things and understand the technology and see how we can apply it. This is what a lot of people are doing. A lot of girls that I met alongside. I joined the SheFi community as well.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if you heard. Are you part of
Oh
that?
yeah, I'm part of it too.
Awesome. Okay, so you're staying for the right reasons. I love to hear that.
I hope. I hope. I still like the money aspect that comes with it. Like
Of
everybody talks
course.
a big game. I think another part of the Web3 industry is that everybody feels, I think that's my hypothesis, as much as I've talked to people, that it's the emperor in new clothes situation. Everybody thinks that somebody else has it figured out better, or somebody knows better, and it's going to take one talk, and then somebody's going to figure out that you know nothing. The big secret is we all know nothing. It's such a new space, and things are changing so much, and there's so many different aspects. Web3 really adapts to the kind of career that you want to have. If you're interested in creativity, go ahead. If you're interested in more of the data and financial side of things, go ahead. So it is such a broad industry, and nobody has it figured out at all.
Exactly. So this is my final question. What advice would you give to someone who is actually considering joining the industry, who wants to like start doing something? What would be your advice?
Join the communities that make you feel part of something. The quicker you feel part of it and that it's not something like an outsider would feel, the better it is for you. Don't reinvent the bicycle. You're not alone. Join communities like SheFi, like we've just mentioned. Safari Club's a good one for Web3 marketing people. Boys Club, other communities, there's a bunch of them. You just have to kind of keep an eye out for what's important. Get a Twitter account going. I haven't had a good Twitter at all. So I feel like a bootmaker with no boots. So I feel very underqualified as a marketer not having a good Twitter profile. But I would highly recommend that somebody who has like a good X Twitter profile. It just gets you in front of people that are important and are the creative decision making people. So definitely go ahead with that. Always attend conferences. We met at a conference. I've met all of my opportunities through a conference. I think it's also another thing. I don't think I've ever met people who go to conferences so much. It's insane. You can see people like it's little cults, little clans of people going from one place to another place and so on. People really like going to conferences because it makes you feel less alone and part of this huge thing that we have to change in the world. Okay, let's mildly reshape the future of the internet. Oh, okay. It's really scary. So at least in person, you can feel less alone and they will guide you, which is another point that it's okay to ask for help. I've been mentored before. I've messaged people on LinkedIn just being like, hi, I notice you're a Web3 marketer. I have this idea. I don't understand this, but I really want to advance. What would you recommend? People actually responded, and I have people reaching out to me, and I give that back. So I mentor people now. Don't do it by yourself. That's the main thing. And of course, dedicate your life to it. Do tokenomics, like actually take a course in it. Don't get bogged down with the details of, RWAs are cool now, or DPIN is cool now, or AI is coming. Actually, just don't overthink it. Try and read, the blockchain fundamentals, read basic books, read more on consumer behavior generally. This is more of the marketing side of things. People don't
Yeah.
change, people make decisions on the same manner. So reading more of the Web 2 stuff will equip you much better to promoting your protocol or being the person who's promoting your protocol. So don't overthink it in terms of having too many niche specific skills. The simpler it is to just say, I'm a marketer. I also specialized in emerging tech. I'm still a marketer. I can always go to another industry if I want. I meet a lot of people who I don't have a skill, but I really want to get into this. You always need to have a skill, whether it's in design, UX design, you're a coder, you're a developer, whatever you are, you need a skill. Focus on that, and then people will find you if you network enough and have a Twitter. Oh, so many different things.
Absolutely, yeah. But this is
Yeah.
what you're saying about marketing. Like, okay, I'm major FOMOing not being a DEF CON, but I am following everybody who's there. And
Mm.
a lot of the talk about the marketing is going. And Emily from Hype is like
Oh yeah.
my new girl that I'm just like just watching all of her talks. And
Oh yeah.
and this is exactly what you said. The basics stay the same. So it's like define your niche, find where they are, see how they communicate. And then the only difference I feel like in Web3, you have all these different channels. You have like
Hmm.
these groups, you have
Yeah.
the Discord, you have all the different channels where you can actually reach out to your audience. And the other thing is that you have different types of data that you can use, right? Because right now in the marketing space, you have the wallet activity data, but you also kind of need the data from the Web2 activity in order for it to make a wholesome like a view on how actually these users are interacting with the space, right?
Hmm. Absolutely. You can't have one part of the data but ignore the other side of the data. Safari is tackling this quite well at the moment. It's Safari spelled with a Y at the end, just in case. Yeah, you can't just have part of the data to understand what your person is like, but getting to the point that people kind of forget that Web2 never went away anywhere. We're still building on top of it. Don't reinvent the bicycle. Don't just focus on chain metrics or um, Web3 native marketing platforms, for example, or just Discord. You still need to be able to just explain in human terms, what do you do, what problem do you solve, and why I should care about it. Yeah, just people overcomplicated the marketing side of things, I think. So as marketers, we have to own up and kind of make it easier for just normal people getting into the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're probably still doing like real life marketing activities, like you do events, like you create some advertising materials that you then give out in real life, right? You do like banners and stuff like this.
It's very simple. Just if you have a design degree, for example, if you create websites for a living or you make cutesy little designs, you can enter the industry. In fact, we're dying for you. Have you seen how complicated all the interfaces are? And it's not clear. And if you have a skill that is just, I can explain things easily to people, people will take you with open arms. As long as you're passionate, your credentials don't really count. And as long as you start making actual friendships and connections, most of the people that we've hired, we've actually found from the community, like actual people that just came in, asked some good questions. We met them, became friends, gave them a job. I got the same way. So skills and actual human communication, that's the two things that actually matter. That's it.
Awesome. That is a great summary. I think we're good for this interview. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Anna. I
Oh,
mean, I
you're
had so
welcome.
much
Thank
fun.
you so much. I love talking anything to do with crypto all day, every day. Let's go.
Awesome. I'm really happy that I had you here, and I will let you know as soon as this is ready.
Yay.
Thank you.